So the final heat for senior Rotax, race 22 of the meeting, groups B versus C. 10 minutes plus an additional lap. Let's have a look at the starting grid. On the front row, it's going to be Germany. It's going to be Hungary versus Germany, and it will be Zsombor Kovács versus Linus Hensen. Lewis Gilbert and Nick Cuppins will be on row 2 ahead of Elia Galvarnin and Mark Kimber. Alexander Abkazava and Tobias Poschik round out the top 8 positions, with Patrick Donica and Ehad Turka running at the top 10. Oscar Pellemele and Fabio Giliberti round out row 6, with Teddy Clinton and Chloe Kennard on row 7. Patrick Slokmelis, Christian de Klein, Luna Blum, Luca Costa, Mika Barthelemy and Arvid Rosen round out the top 20. Completing the 31 strong will be Noah Hipp, Benoit Tordemain, Kylian Tarnier, Simon Gaspard, Baz Janssen, Scott Westhovens, Storm Breur, Bente Boa, and then we've also got Corentin Franchi, Daniel Mualem and Ricardo Di Landro. That's your 31 strong grid for the 6th and final heat of their day. It's been a very long day for everybody concerned. And firstly, a big thank you to everyone at the circuit for being so helpful with regards to their help today. It has been a very dramatic day here in Adria. But to be honest with you, the main thing is that the racing has been pure. It is about going for glory, and it is also about getting yourself on the best foot forward possible. So it will be down to Zsombor Kovács and Linus Hensen to control the pace, with Gilbert and Cuppins just behind. Galvarnin and Kimber, row 3. Abkazava, Poschik, row 4. Completing the top 10, it's Donica and Turka. So 10 minutes set on the timer, plus an additional lap to go in senior Rotax competition here on Heats Day. So they make their way through the final corner here at Adria Karting Raceway. 1,302 metres of prime tarmac here in northern Italy. Into the tram lines we go. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights out. It's a clean start and a good start from Zsombor Kovács, and it looks like Lewis Gilbert managed to get the jump on Linus Hensen going into turn 1, and the Scotsman's already there. Elia Galvarnin past Nick Cuppins already up into P4 as they hurtle their way through turn 2 for the very first time. Everyone line astern. It's single file rotation at some points in the circuit, but there's a bit of a move trying to be exercised, maybe between Kimber and Abkazava, for what would be 6th place as they were going through the turn 5 left-hand hairpin. But already Lewis Gilbert hot on the heels of Zsombor Kovács, and the Scotsman trying to get into the lead early. But Elia Galvarnin, 3rd on the podium here in the final round of the season in 2020 here on home soil, will try and make his presence felt and try and put the pressure on. Fabio Giliberti up into 11th position. So Mark Kimber and Elia Galvarnin both past Nick Cuppins as there's the move for the lead. And not only has Zsombor Kovács dropped from 1st to 2nd, he's dropped from 1st to 4th at the drop of a hat. And there goes Elia Galvarnin up the inside of Linus Hensen. And there, just behind them, is Mark Kimber. All the battle lines have well and truly been drawn in the sand, ladies and gentlemen, because now the dual ride diamond is at the front of the field, as it is a 2-way scrap. Make that the 3-way scrap, because Hensen got up the inside of Kovács, and then along came Mark Kimber to join the party, and he decided, well, if you're going to go up the inside, I'm going to go there too, and the door opened. And now Nick Cuppins also fancies a piece of the pie as well. For these drivers really knowing what they're worth, and up the inside, that's a move by Mark Kimber up the inside of Linus Hensen through into turn 1 to take 3rd position off of the German, who is battling away with Nick Cuppins, who's just got... Is that me, or did Nick Cuppins get round the outside of Zsombor Kovács going through turn 2? If he did, that was a hell of a manoeuvre right there and then. As now Cuppins gets Kovács up the inside of him going through into turn number 5, and there is the 363 of Alexander Abkazava. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Elia Galvarnin takes the lead, and there is a very badly deflated rear right tyre and the 331 of Baz Janssen, and the back bumpers wobbling all over the place. A real shame for the Dutch driver, and there is somebody else out. Oh my goodness me. Could that be possibly Daniel Mualem, I believe, on the Ernst Racing 335? We'll get that confirmed momentarily. But yeah, that was not what you wanted to have happen, as Elia Galvanin has been passed once again by Lewis Gilbert. So the Italian thoroughbred against the Doroi Diamond, and they're both at the front of the field, but trying to chase them down is Mark Kimber in the 357. And Zsombor Kovac is leading. He's like the cork in the bottle behind. He's in fourth place. You've got Linus Hensen, Nick Cuppens, Alexander Abkazava, Oscar Pellemele, Tobias Poschek, Ehad Turka amongst that gaggle behind them. And once one gets through, the rest are going to open up the floodgates like the Hoover Dam. But you can see here just how precise these drivers are being at the moment. But Lewis Gilbert trying to stretch an advantage over Elia Galvanin. It was 6 100ths last time around. They crossed the stripe. It is now 0.24 of a second. Ehad Turk has just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 50.986 from the Istanbul-based driver in 10th position. And it was, as I thought it might have been, it is Daniel Mualem and Bas Janssen that will be retiring, have basically effectively been de facto retired as of that incident, as we see this battle royale here. And there is Alexander Abkazava trying to get past Linus Hensen. You've also got in there the 308 of France's Oscar Pellemele, Ehad Turka, Tobias Poschek from KSB Racing is in that crew as well. And the biggest bone of contention here is that the majority of the drivers that are fighting, and there are drivers that have dropped down the order, such as Teddy Clinton, who's down in 20th position. So Bas Janssen and Daniel Mualem all confirmed as retirees from this race. And so 30 will go through, and 32 will go into the second chance heat tomorrow morning, which will take place at 10:30. And there is Mark Kimber. He's got the lead off of Lewis Gilbert, who's now battling away with Elia Galvanin. Zsombor Kovac, the Hungarian, has managed to catch up with them and is closing in for the kill. But with just over half of this race remaining, don't count your chickens before they hatch, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know how this is going to play out or how this is going to end up. But when you have two pedigree drivers, well, all four of them have notable pedigree within Rotax racing circles. Mark Kimber, without exception. Lewis Gilbert, very good as a junior. Came into seniors and really, really impressed me. But you can see all the battling behind, and it is just so close. The top four were covered by half a second. Zsombor Kovac looking to pass Elliot Galvanin very, very soon indeed. And when will that happen? Right now. Good move there by Zsombor Kovac. Waited, bided time, got up the inside, made the move cleanly. Textbook, effectively. Rounding out the top 10 is the sole Georgian in this field, Alexander Abkazava, who's dropped behind Tobias Poschek. Ehad Turka back up into 8th position. Oscar Pellemele and Linus Hensen past Nick Cuppens. So the battle is still raging on. We still have 29 out of the 31 drivers still circulating, with 4 minutes and an additional lap still to go. We have 2 more races after this one to complete what has been a very, very lengthy day. But Lewis Gilbert not going to give up on that lead or that victory. And now he goes up the inside. Now, the thing is, they're both under the same awning. Lewis Gilbert used to run with Potenza Racing Engines, which he does some work from. Obviously, part of the business. He works as part of the business. But look, it's all kicking off. Zsombor Kovac and Mark Kimber not wanting to do anything about it. Kimber's got the gloves off. Just by what I just saw there, Mark Kimber does not want to relinquish that position. He's basically saying to Lewis Gilbert, you've got to fight me for it, and you've got to fight me and do the job cleanly. And now Zsombor Kovac nearly had an opportunity. Elia Galvanin is just like saying, well, I'm just going to wait and bide my time. And that's what you have to do in these kind of situations. But sometimes the person that has the biggest amount of frustration pent up behind that visor could have a real problem later on in the race. Well, the thing is that first of all, Elia Galvanin has just passed Zsombor Kovac for P4. P3 and in P3 in the race. And now Elia Galvanin will now go up against Lewis Gilbert and Mark Kimber. Wait for the fireworks the minute that the fuse gets lit, courtesy of Elia Galvanin, as they go through T1. Still very much a stalemate. So Kimber still leads. Gilbert in second. Galvanin in third. Kovac. Henson ahead of Oscar Pelmele for 5th and 6th position respectively. And there is another change for position because now Zsombor Kovac has decided to get back past Elia Galvanin. Other positional changes. Patrick Slokbelis from Latvia gets past Germany's Luca Köster for 13th place, as Chloe Canard is ahead of Luna Blum in the battle for 15th and 16th position. We're getting in towards crunch time. Probably towards the last 90 seconds of senior Rotax competition, plus 1 lap. So give that a couple of, probably give us 3 laps, and we'll find out who wins this heat. But at the moment, it's advantage Kimber. And on the receiving end, it's Gilbert, Kovac and Elia Galvanin. And at the moment, still, Gilbert is hanging on and waiting for his time to get ahead of Mark Kimber. But Kimber will not make this easy at all. Unfortunately, another 2 retirements about to be confirmed. Fabio Giliberti from Italy and Sweden's Arvid Rosen now have got the blue circle against them on the timing screen. So Benteboer from the Netherlands in the 6:04. She's currently the last of the 27 drivers circulating as we go into the last 40 seconds. Lewis Gilbert will have this plus an additional lap. And if he wants to send a message to the likes of Kimber, Bradshaw, et al., he's got to do it now. And less than a tenth between the pair of them coming across the line. Elia Galvanin has just posted the fastest lap time on lap number 11. This is crunch time. Half a second. Cover this quartet of drivers. But Kimber still hanging on. Gilbert still waiting in the wings. Zsombor Kovac wants to do something about it and get himself talked about a little bit, but he's trying to go up the inside of Gilbert. Gets up the inside. Galvanin nearly went up the pair of them through that right-hander, slots in behind Zsombor Kovac, and Lewis Gilbert is now going to have to fight back because we've got 1 more lap to go. Kimber's been given that light at the end of the tunnel that he so really wanted, and whilst everyone else was battling behind him, he's managed to strike a gap and get away. And that gap now is nearly 9/10 of a second. Here's the battle for second. Lewis Gilbert trying to plant it around the outside through turn 2 to carry the momentum through into 3. Now into the left-hander at 4. This is where it's going to get rather dicey. And now Gilbert's got to do something. Galvanin nearly leaves the door open for Gilbert going through turn 5. But Kimber has gotten away. And he's made sure that he gets a race victory here on Heats Day, to keep him up as high up the order as that's a great move by Lewis Gilbert up the inside of Elia Galvanin. And Oscar Pelmele is also closed in the meantime. This is going to be a squabble for position. You've got Linus Henson, Erhard Tucker, Nick Cuppens, but it's going to be Mark Kimber that will secure the victory by well over 1.2 seconds. He crosses the finish line, takes the checkered flag, 1.568 ahead of Zsombor Kovac. Lewis Gilbert third, Elia Galvanin, Oscar Pelmele, Linus Henson, Erhard Tucker, Nick Cuppens, Tobias Poschek, Patrick Donica, Christian de Klein, Alexander Abkazava, Patrick Slokmelis, Luca Köster, Chloe Canard, Luna Blum, Teddy Clinton, Noah Hipp, Simon Gaspard, Mika Barthélemy, Kilian Tarnier, Storm Breuer, Scott Westhovens, Benoit Tordema, Corentin Franchi, and Riccardo Di Landro, the last of the 26 drivers that finished the race. Unfortunately, lap 10, Benteboer retired with Fabio Giliberti and Arvid Rosen lap 8, with Baz Janssen and Daniel Moalem coming together on lap 2 that saw both of them instantly retire on the spot. But a win by 1.5 seconds by Mark Kimber.